Right, today, Thursday the 2nd of May, is the day when Londoners decide whether they want to own a car or not. Because let's face it, that's what it boils down to. It's the mayoral election, and that bloke that's been there for the past, is it 4 years or 5 years? Too long anyway, who bought in ULEZ, is going for re-election. Now, I've never heard anyone say anything good about ULEZ, not real people. I mean, obviously there's people on the telly that go, oh yes, it saves the environment. No, I love to breathe the clean air. Bollocks. There's just as many cars in London now as there ever was. They just have to pay for the privilege. It hasn't done anything to ease traffic congestion whatsoever. So it's done nothing for emissions, it's done nothing for anything. All it's done is put a shitload of money in somebody's pocket, not mine. So nobody has anything good to say about ULEZ. Nobody has anything good to say about Can. Yet somehow, and I am a gambling man, so I check these things, he's 33-1 odd to win this election. Just to put that in perspective, for those of you that don't gamble, if you walk into William Hill's and say, I'd like to bet on Sadiq Khan, please, they will ask you for £33, and when he wins, they will give you back your £33 plus £1. That's not gambling, that's just interest. So he is almost at an unbelievable certainty to win this election. I think largely based on the fact he's up against nobody, but nevertheless, he's going to get re-elected according to the bookies. And this is the bit I don't understand. Who's voting for him? See, I pause then, because at that point I would fall foul of the community standards of YouTube and Facebook if I said what I thought. You know what I'm thinking, let's just fill in the blanks for ourselves, shall we? So the point being that he's bought in ULEZ, and then he expanded it out to the edges of the M25 in places, all right, for those of you that go, oh no, it's not all of the, it's virtually all the bit. The only bit he hasn't expanded it into are the green bits where there aren't any pissing roads. That doesn't count. I went to Croydon the other day, you get 2 miles off the M25, bang, you're in ULEZ. And you're paying your £12.50 or whatever it is, 18, 12, 18. I don't know, it's different to the congestion charge, isn't it? Because that's 2 charges. Don't forget, that's 2 charges to get yourselves into Greater London. So you pay one, and you pay the other, and then you get the privilege of being able to get to where you want to go. And this has been his plan all along. He made no secret of it. The only bit he has made secret of is his plan to charge people by miles. So you will pay per mile. So not only are you going to pay your ULEZ, you're going to pay your congestion charge, he's going to charge you for the privilege of driving around. Because it doesn't want poor people moving around. Let's cut to the chase. So nothing to do with the environment. Nothing whatsoever to do with the environment, and everything to do with stopping poor people moving around. Rich people can go where they like, which he proves on a daily basis by driving a V8 Range Rover. Not one, I think he's got 3. Because, you know, he has to travel with security because he's that popular. And, you know, he might get mobbed wherever he goes by people saying, oh, you've saved our city. But maybe it ain't sarcasm there. But these aren't even ordinary Range Rover V8s. These are armoured V8s. Rumoured to cost 350 grand each, and if he's got 3 of them, that's £1 million. And he drives around London every day in these. Well, you peasant, better get in your Prius, or you better get in your milk float, or get on the bus, because you are not fit to run my streets. I need to clear the streets to make room for my fleet of Range Rover V8s to drive around wherever we want, whenever we want, and especially if I need to get to City Airport to get on my private jet. So today Londoners have a choice. But I don't think you have a choice, actually. I was going to say, Londoners have a choice. You either vote for someone who's going to let you keep your freedom, let you keep your car, and not price you out of it, or you vote for Can. But actually, if he's 33 to 1 on, and there's no real other candidate, I think you have got choice. I think he's got enough of his voters to make sure he gets in. And if not, I'm sure a couple more will appear in a dinghy anytime soon on Dover. Oh, well, I might sneak that one in. Let's see if that gets let's see if that gets past the bots. So there you have it. Today, London is at a crossroads. Of course, there won't be any cars on the crossroads because they'll all be priced off the road. So I suppose that's something. And you'll be able to walk about freely within your 15-minute city. Even though London's a city, I presume that the 15-minute cities will be divided up into the individual boroughs. So, like Hackney, I mean, granted, as a West Ham fan, I'll be quite happy to be in a 15-minute city in Hackney. Couldn't make the away games, obviously, because you wouldn't be able to leave often enough. But each little London borough will be its own tiny, tiny little micro-city. And you can stay there, and then 50 times a year you can leave. And if you try to leave any more than once a week, you have to pay for the privilege. Which means rich people will still move freely. But the poor people won't. Because the poor people won't have cars. And the poor people won't be able to afford to leave their 15-minute cities. And the poor people will just do as they're told and be like laboratory rats running around in a little circle within the 15-minute city. You'll own nothing. You'll be happy. Oh. And suddenly we're back at Agenda 2030. Which at the end of the day is all Can's there to deliver. Same as Sunak. Their job is to deliver UN Agenda 2030. And they've got 6 years to do it. And we've got 6 years left to save the planet. Not save the planet from extinction because of climate change. Save the planet from the globalist terrorists that are going to run our countries for us and insist that they do everything and we do nothing, and we should be grateful for it. Well, it's a cheery broadcast for today, isn't it? So there you go. In short, London, you got to vote today, but it doesn't matter a shit because it's not going to make any difference. So you just will not bother. And sell your car quick before it's worthless, because cars are going to be worthless in London, especially if they're diesel, petrol, or indeed probably hybrid. You'll probably rule them out next. And there'll just be milk floats and Range Rover V8s. Oh, and posh people that just pay for the privilege. So you can still drive your Lamborghini Countach. You can drive that into London, pay for the privilege, drive it round at 3 miles to the gallon, do a few donuts round Marble Arch. That'll be alright because you're rich. And rich people can do what they like. It's just the poor people that need to know their place. It's turned into the Sheriff of Nottingham and Robin Hood, isn't it, really? It's like 500 years ago. I might have to be a fat Robin Hood. Might get myself a green felt hat. Probably won't rob any rich people to give it to the poor. And if I did rob a rich person, I'd probably keep it. Yeah, let's be honest. I ain't going to sell it. Sell it? Give it away to poor people. I'll probably just keep it. But I couldn't be asked to rob them anyway. What's the point? I might wear a green felt hat though. I think I'd look good in that. And I could also be Little John and probably Friar Tuck at the same time. In fact, I could be all the Robin Hood characters except for Maid Marian, though I do have a wig. So there you go. We've gone from the great news that there's a democratic election taking place to the sad news that it won't make a shit of difference and I'm going to turn into a fairy tale character from the 16th century. All in all, I think you'll agree, a great day's work.